All right, welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday for women visionaries in transition who want to cultivate a solid foundation of aligned self-care practices. I am the change guide for growth and a productivity expert that helps you streamline your journey to authentic joy, expansion, and ease. We are jumping on today for my Visionaries in Transition Facebook Live series, where I interview the amazing and inspiring impact makers in my network to discuss the transitions that have shaped our lives and businesses, because there are many. So if you're joining us, please like, comment, and share. Subscribe if you're joining us on YouTube, and let us know that you're here. So today I'm talking to Debbie Pickus, who is one of my favorite people to talk to. We've had some wonderful conversations in the past, and she's with Team Fireball. So I'm so glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm glad we made this work out because we had to schmooze some things around and this turned out perfectly. So yay.
Yes. Scheduling is always the biggest challenge for a lot of these things.
Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah, so let's dive into it. Tell me about your backstory. How did you get to where you are today?
Oh boy. All right. We've only got 30 minutes, so I'll keep it brief. Let's see. Well, so I started this company from another company. I was a partner in a Title Boxing Club, which is a fitness boxing gym franchise. And a friend of mine actually went into that workout on a Groupon. Long story short, found out that it was a franchise, found out that the franchise we were at was for sale, available. And we're like, hey, what a great idea. Let's do this. So we just basically jumped in and did it. It was a business that had many flaws, and we kind of started out underwater. So not the greatest way to start out, but out of that business came the concept of fitness team building, which is how I started Team Fireball. It's evolved since then, but that was how this business started, to do fitness team building events, but that also had a personal development, confidence, mindset piece to them. Eventually, I rolled into focusing on mindset coaching for professional women. I still do some team building. Ironically, things are coming back full circle. I've got an event this week that I'm being, a team building company has invited me to come and facilitate a training. So there's another part of my business. But the backstory of how I got into this mindset work was about 10 years ago, being in my own abusive relationship, but not with a spouse or partner, with myself. And I say that because the negative language and the things that I would say to myself on a regular basis were so insanely abusive, so horrifying. And one day I had an epiphany. And the epiphany was that I imagined my beautiful daughter, who's now 27, but was about 16, 17 at the time, if I spoke to her the way I spoke to myself. And I mean, my face, I saw her face in my mind's eye. I crumbled when I'm thinking about it, because I'm like, oh my God, this is heartbreaking. But yet a lot of men do it too, right? But we know, as women, we understand that we women are so rough on ourselves, right? We allow ourselves to treat ourselves horribly. We would never let a spouse or partner, hopefully, talk to us that way. We wouldn't speak to our kids or a loved one that way, but we do it to ourselves. And so that was kind of, realistically, that epiphany happened about 10 years ago. I'm just now realizing the effect it had as I came out of that. So was the beginning of it. And then it rolled into where I am now.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. My personal development journey actually started with a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself.
Yes, I know that book.
By Shad Helmstetter. And it blew my mind wide open. I was like, oh, I've been talking shit to myself.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Like, just, I've been in actual abusive relationships with a partner before, and truly I was worse on myself than like the things that he would say, just crazy stuff that we do. Yeah.
And
with venom and a vengeance and all that, not just I suck or I look fat today, or like, you disgust me, you this, like, what the hell? pretty brutal.
Yeah, it all starts up here.
It all does.
Starts up here.
It all does. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So what transitions shaped this journey of yours in life or business?
You know, I've been an entrepreneur on and off. I've been an entrepreneur and an employee, an entrepreneur and an employee. And it's, you know, the funny thing is the entrepreneurial journey, I'm always like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. It's going to be great. And then it doesn't work out well. And then I'm like, I got to find a job. And then I find a job. And then I'm like, I don't like having a job and I don't like answering to people. I'm going to go, you know, so there's been just a lot of back and forth, being pretty lost at times, you know, like I didn't grow up with parents that were like, you know, find a mission and, or, you know, choose what you love or, you know, entrepreneurial business, you know, understanding money or business or anything. I basically have been figuring it out on my own this whole time. About 10 years ago, when I was in that abusive relationship, I also went through complete financial disaster. I was in the process of losing my home that I had purchased after my divorce. I had trusted some people to invest for me, and any money that I had, I trusted other people because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could handle it. I was raised by a father who was very old school, find a man to marry you and take care of you. Well, when my marriage didn't work out and I was taking care of myself, and then I didn't want to listen to anybody else because he was so bossy about money, but then I ended up turning my money over to these people that didn't give a shit about me and lost everything. And, you know, so the transition there was like kind of losing my home, having to file bankruptcy, like complete financial disaster, and, you know, having to start over. The thing that's good about it is I finally understood like what my money story was and my money beliefs and my worth beliefs and all these things about myself. So a pile of shit happened, but it had to happen for me to come out and figure out, oh, you know, this is what I've been thinking all along. This is what I've been dealing with all along. And then, you know, happened to find, you know, along the way led me to different personal development and business coaches and things until I found the coaching program that helped me change my mindset and understand my mindset. And then I became certified in that work because it resonated so deeply with me. And since then, I've helped clients recognize their own money stories, right? Which, listen, I don't care if you want to make $10,000, you know, a month or $5,000 a month, or you want to make $100,000 a month, like that. The amount is not what matters, right? Because it's all psychological. It's just really understanding like that the value you bring and understanding your beliefs around money and catching them when they come up, like, oh, there's that. I always say, like, even though we change, you know, we recognize it, but just because you do the work and change it doesn't mean that thing's not coming back. It's kind of like a bad ex-boyfriend, you know, you're finally over them and then they text you like, hey, what up? And you're like, no, you're not allowed back here. Right. So yeah, that's kind of been, you know, plenty of transitions, as I said.
Yeah. I actually use the metaphor of an onion a lot when it comes to healing and growing and all this stuff, because like you think that you've handled a layer. You're like, I've got this layer down. I've healed this shit. I'm good to go. Let's go on to the next. And then there's another layer and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah. I mean, and what, you know, that's the thing though, like what do they say? New level, new devil, right?
Yeah,
that expression. But it's true that basically every time we grow, now we're facing a new challenge, you know, we're facing a new challenge and all the old stuff is going to come back. The good news is it's kind of like when you get laser hair removal and hair will come back, but not as bad. I don't know why I just thought of that one, but
no, I love it. Yeah. And I'm also really glad you're talking about money mindset here, because I think, especially as women in our current society, we need to talk about money more. Yes. Because I've been treated for most of my life of like, you know, we don't really talk about money. Like I've even been told to keep my money secret by people. They're like, this is between me and you. You're not allowed to tell anyone else about what I'm telling you about my money right now. And like, my friends don't really want to talk about like how much they make or how much they spend or like any of these things.
Yeah.
And we're also told, like, as women, often it's like, don't worry your pretty head about this. We will take care of it for you.
Right.
We don't need to tell you any of the details. We will just mete out the money when we deem it appropriate and necessary. And I've also come from a background of like, well, you have to prove that you're using the money well, you know, like, what's your budget like, you know, what are you actually spending it on? I've been told to like stop getting my nails done in order to pay my bills, and I'm like, I haven't gone to the nail salon in like 3 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is all self-done, baby.
You're talented. I can't do that.
But we get all of these like really toxic stories as women when it comes to money, and we are belittled, we are condescended to, we are mansplained often in the financial world. And it's one of the reasons why I switched to a woman financial advisor this year, because I was like, dude, these guys, they're like, well, you need to think about this and you need to think about that, and then they just like don't listen to anything I say, and I'm like,
exactly. A woman financial planner, absolutely. Had a few different ones, and always women, always. Sorry, guys.
I mean, that's an outdated mode.
Right.
Like, my new financial advisor was actually shocked that the man financial advisor that I had for a long time, because he originally, I inherited some money from my grandmother when she died back in 2008. And so he was managing that money for probably over 10 years, something like that.
Right.
And he never had meetings with me.
Oh my gosh.
He never called me to update me on anything that was going on. Like, I had to track it myself, and I'm like, what am I even paying you for?
Exactly.
Like, and then he didn't even know what kind of accounts I had in the first place when I like talked about taking out money, and he's like, well, you can't take out money from like an educational fund, and I'm like, it's not an educational fund, it's a mutual fund. Like, it's amazing how toxic these conversations around money can get. And I'm just really glad that you brought that up.
You know, it's so funny because I just went to an event with a financial planner group that I'm actually going to be a speaker at one of their next events, but because of the mindset thing, right? And what we do, exactly what we just said. But she was talking about, like, you know, anytime there's a change, we have a meeting, you know, even it might be by phone, it might be by Zoom, it doesn't have to be in person, but like they're always in conversation with each other, you know, with their clients. And I'm just like, yeah, that's how it should be, right? Because it's like, and, you know, still coming out of the marriage I had and the way I grew up, where I really wasn't in charge of any of it, you know, it's crazy when you think of like, you've got to like dig in. It's like your garden, right? Like you've got to be like elbow deep in, this is your world, right? And you want advice from people that understand like those markets and some of those things, but still you should fully be involved and engaged, you know, because we could go on forever.
That's a whole nother topic.
Still, 30 minutes, people.
So that brings me to my next question is like, what lessons did you learn along the way throughout all of these transitions?
Gosh, well, you know, again, one of them was really understanding my worth, understanding that I was special in my own right. I mean, you know, you and I work with one of the same coaches and have, you know, probably worked with some other people, the same coaches and like, number one, that personal development is imperative. Having mentors, having you know, a personal board of directors, having people that are of the same mindset and same beliefs and also struggle with some of the same issues, you know, will be supportive, you know, so those are some of the lessons. You know, having some good routines, like whether it's, meditation and visualization and journaling and those kind of things, whether it's just self-care, and taking care. Like I'm a workout person, right? I actually am just getting over COVID and haven't been able to work out for like 10, 12 days. And it's like, and I haven't really wanted to, I've just felt like no energy. And it's amazing how my routine is off because I've not done it. I've had to do actually a lot of mindset work over this part to remind myself how strong I am and that I'm healthy and this is just temporary and, all these things. But yeah, lessons along the way. Take self-care is not selfish, right? Yeah. If you want to get your nails done, get your nails done, right? Like, I mean, finding your own worth and value, never diminishing yourself, but also mentorship, like-minded people, continue learning, try something new. Like, who gives a shit if you doesn't, I mean, no, don't take $10 million and like invest it in, something stupid, right? But I mean, like, what's the worst thing that can happen if you tried something and it failed? Like you just learn. So I don't know. I mean, if I'm trying to think of all the lessons, I mean, I could probably, I could write 10 books.
Yeah.
Here's what not to do.
Right. I mean, that's the thing that I say often is like, I learn something from every experience I have, yes, even if it's what not to do.
I mean, truly. And the thing is, I mean, I've got 3 adult children and there's times where I've said to them, and even still, because, I still don't know money the same, like, as well as my ex does, and I will admit that just because I started so late, right? So I'm still learning and growing, but even some of the things that I say is like, I can teach my kids about the mindset of it, right? But I'll say, hey, listen to dad about this, this, and this, right? Because he knows better and he's got experience with that. I don't know. It's really just watching that language, catching it. If you wouldn't say it to somebody you love, don't say it to yourself. Don't think it to yourself, catch yourself and switch gears.
Yeah. And I mean, for the next question, you've kind of already answered this, but like what tools or practices did you use to support yourself during these times? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically?
Yeah. Well, so mentally has been, investing in programming and being around people that I can learn from and that are doing what I desire to do. I don't think I've been without a coach or a mentor since at least 8 years. Before I even started my business, I was working with a business coach. I didn't even know what this business was going to be yet. I'm like, I'm going to do something. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to I'm going to invest in this program and just see what happens. And, so the growth and the learning and the people I met, that's the other thing is like your network is so important. Like, use your network. And if you look around your network and people are not doing things that you want to be doing, or they're not like blowing you away with some of the stuff that's happening, then, you don't have to get rid of them, and I've got a group of friends that I absolutely love and, they're not doing some of the things that I'm doing, but I love them. But you have to surround yourself with people who are making things happen. Because every time I see, like in some of the communities we're in, I'm like, oh my God, that person's doing this, or, oh my God, I never thought about that. Or just, wow, that's so cool. I'm inspired, even if I'm not going to do that thing. Totally. So by all means, surround yourself with just amazing people, and just take care of yourself physically and mentally, and a workout doesn't have to look like a hardcore workout. It can look like taking a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a kickboxing martial arts kind of person, so that's my soulmate workout. But for some people, it might just be turning on their favorite song and dancing, do what makes you happy.
That's me. I have private
Awesome.
dance parties, and I have this hallway in my apartment that no one can see me when I'm in this hallway. Like there's no windows, like
Got it.
nothing. And so I have these like private,
Fully expressed.
choreographed, like dance, like it's almost like interpretive dance parties. Where I'm like strutting down the hallway and I'm like, yeah, like, you know, my own music video.
Right. Whatever lights you up, man, whatever lights you up. I've got plenty of those myself too. Sometimes I'll do that while I'm taking a walk outside, and I'm like, yeah, people are probably watching me walk down the street and think I'm a weirdo, and I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you're touching on a lot of the areas that I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Like connecting time is one of my big ones, talking about those social circles and being very intentional about how you spend your connecting time, which you're talking about.
Yes.
Time in, which you're talking about with like meditation and journing and self-reflection. That's so important. And then physical time, like those are 3 of the 7 areas that I talk about all the time. Like,
absolutely.
they really do contribute to holistic health, productivity, creativity. Like you need them.
Right. You absolutely need them. And it's amazing what, yes, the meditative and thought part and everything. I mean, it's really important to do that. But it's amazing what just moving your body in any way, like you just said, you know, your interpretive dance or just whatever, just allowing your body, or singing at the top of your lungs, even if you don't have a great voice, but the things that we do that like light us up, they fire off all the neurons, you know, and they make us resourceful, and they make us feel powerful, and they make us feel like we can take on the world. The event that I'm doing this week is basically a mindset workshop, but then it's a board breaking event, right? And I've got like 63 people that are coming to this event, and they're going to be blown away because, like, you know, you have that moment where you break through that board, and the sound, the crack that it makes, and like the feeling of it, it's like, woo, you know, I mean, it's like amazing. And, you know, then that board is a reminder that they keep, you know, of like, oh my God, I did that. You know? And so, yeah, by all means, like, you know, I'm getting excited just like sitting here. I'm like all jazzed up now.
Yeah. No, I love it, because board breaking is one of the rituals that I'm a huge fan of, because rituals are basically just embodying your intentions.
Love it.
Because your body, you need that somatic portion of it. Like you can't just journal to the day's end. You can't just, you know, bubble bath your way to health. Like you need that.
Well, that would be a great book title or video or something, you know.
Yeah, I always say that self-care isn't just squeezing in a bubble bath and a glass of wine on Sunday.
Right.
So,
exactly. Not
you need that embodiment of the things that you're doing, because that's what our brains love. Like once we tap into those physical, sensory, tangible, tactile integrations, that's where the magic lies.
It really does. I mean, embodiment is exactly where it lies, you know, like take what's going on here, do something in your body, you know, like whether it's you touching something like to remind you, or breaking a board, or doing a dance, or absolutely. Best. Totally. We're on the same page, girl.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I invited you to the series.
Right. Why else would we be here? Totally.
All right. Well, we got a couple minutes left. You want to add anything before we wrap up?
Gosh, I feel like I've said everything. You know, anybody that wants to reach out and connect, if they've got any questions or anything, I mean, you'll be putting this on social media. They can find me. Always happy to support people who want to understand more. So
love it.
If you've got a team somewhere that's interested in facilitating a board breaking event, find me.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, per usual, this is powerful stuff that we're talking about here. And audience, we definitely encourage you to share your own thoughts and stories and feelings and insights with us as well. We'd love to know how transitions have shaped and impacted you in your own lives and businesses, because what is it? Heraclitus says change, the only constant in life is change, because change, death, and taxes.
There you go. Boy, you pulled that name out of nowhere. I'm like,
I actually read it yesterday, so that's why.
There you go. Beautiful.
So special thanks to Debbie for joining me today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm always looking for more guests. So if you're interested in coming on and sharing your own perspectives with us as well, please reach out to me. I'll send you the sign up link. I'm actually booked out to the end of October right now. So
I snagged this date, man. I was like, whoop.
Yeah. So I recommend booking sooner rather than later if you are interested in getting on. I can't wait to chat with all of you. In the meantime, please comment, like, subscribe, and share below. Check out Linktree/Liminal Clarity for all of my links. And then where can people find out about you, Debbie?
Let's see, on LinkedIn, Debbie Pickus, or on my website, www.team-fireball.com.
I love it. And I'll be adding those links to the comments and to the YouTube description so that they're easy to access.
Wonderful.
So until next time, please remember that your authentic self is extraordinary. It is wonderful, and you owe it to yourself to create the elevated life that you know you are capable of. Take care, everyone.
Bye.